Rain continues to pelt Koskinen Stadium. Sidelines are drenched, the fans are drenched, the field soaked. Big ground ball. Martin, the face-off man, emerges with it through traffic. Bomberry, saved by Fowler. Here comes Smith, he thought about it. On the doorstep, Robertson, we're tied at 14.
Their names define the sport of lacrosse at the highest level. 4 programs annually listed among the elite, linked not only by their past success, but by the expectations placed upon them.
So don't, for a second, doubt yourself. Just keep playing.
We have a long way to go, but it's paying attention to the details. How great do you want to be?
Game time. It's in the bag, you better believe it. We all play for one reason. Show out dominating this season. It's time. Take that dub with us, so we leaving. You not with us in the streets, and Braveheart turned it up for this season. Game time.
It's the season, 2018. As the season marches on, so too does the pressure. At first it's subtle, felt only in the smallest detail. But with every team jockeying for postseason position, every game, every goal carries more meaning. And while pressure can cause things to come apart, it's also the necessary ingredient to make the one thing all of these squads hope to wear at the end of the season: diamonds. Never before has there been so much parity in the game, a fact not lost upon the coaches. At the halfway point, the Duke Blue Devils have established themselves as a force to be reckoned with, carving out an 8-1 record and a top 5 ranking. While their neighbors across town, the North Carolina Tar Heels, started the season undefeated at 6-0, only to drop 3 straight. Ohio State stands at 5-3, a strong start tempered by close defeats on the road. While perhaps the team with the most to prove is Syracuse. Despite showing flashes of brilliance, they have yet to find consistency on both ends. The night before their ACC clash at Duke, there was a calm focus among the Orange. Knowing the pressure they felt meant it was a pivotal moment in the season.
Nice little midway point for us, kinda. Kinda had our ups and downs, but kind of refocus like all teams probably should at this point in the year.
ACC play is pretty high caliber, and especially going into this weekend, you know, we got a really good Duke team, so I'm sure it's gonna be a battle.
After this week, we're kind of trying to turn our season around. I think it would be a good starting point to beat a team like Duke. You know, they're a great team, so I think a win against them would be huge for our team.
You know, the more we kind of remember what it feels like to be down, and then, you know, how to keep our composure in certain moments, and guys will step up, and we've been there before, and we'll be able to do it again.
While the Orange would be driven from within, for the Duke lacrosse family, the game marked a chance to remember the ultimate sacrifice made by a former letterman, Army Sergeant James John Regan. Jimmy's courage is celebrated with every Blue Devil jersey bearing his name, reminding the players that sometimes it's about more than a game.
Military Appreciation Day at Duke is phenomenal. It's a time for the legacy of Jimmy, my son. Jimmy was in 2002 graduate of Duke University, as well as a lacrosse player at Duke. Served 4 tours of duty, and unfortunately, in 2007, Jimmy was killed in Iraq. The relationships that you build in lacrosse, some fine people play in lacrosse. And when they get out of college, you know, the competitors become friends. The friends become brothers. And they're continuing competing in an atmosphere of civilian life, which is tremendous. And this day is really very important for the Regan family and for the legacy of Jimmy, as well as for Lead the Way Fund. And we hope to see it continue.
We're at Koskinen Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. For both teams, this is a critical game. Duke, it's the ACC opener, and for Syracuse, boy, they've got Duke, they've got Notre Dame. Critical stretch. They could potentially be 3-5 going into April if they don't get one of these next 2 games. Now for the Blue Devils, 8-1. The lone loss was to Penn. They've got a big win against Denver. They beat Loyola.
Give every single thing you have today. Step up for the guy next to you. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Early on, both teams came out firing. And as the game progressed, so too did the offensive firepower on each side.
Skip to Walsh. He beats McDonough right off that right shoulder, 6'5". Dordevic with a torpedo. And back and forth we go, it's Syracuse with the lead.
In the third, it looked as if Syracuse's skilled attack would help them pull away.
Right on the doorstep, precision passing, and Bomberry, one of the best man-up finishers, with the tally.
But Duke quickly answered, taking their first lead late in the period.
Now Conley, and Duke has its first lead of the afternoon.
And as the rain began to fall, the fourth quarter would prove to be an instant classic.
Solomon, Bomberry, tie game! Well, Syracuse finds a way to win this game after withstanding the Duke flurry. Now this might be a turning point in the season for this young team. Bomberry, his fourth, and Syracuse retakes the lead. Bomberry, saved by Fowler. Here comes Smith, he thought about it. On the doorstep, Robertson, we're tied at 14. Oh man.
With a minute remaining, it was a heads-up play of Jamie Trimboli which would seal the victory.
To the crease, Dordevic couldn't hold on. Trimboli! Jamie Trimboli gives Syracuse the lead with 1:14 left. And the Orange with a one-goal win. That has been their MO the last couple of years.
Huge game by Rafus, huge game by Bomberry. Those are the types of performances you're expecting out of guys with experience.
It's an awesome win, great win for the team. What we talked about, you know, I want to come out here. Start of our second season here, I guess you could say, kind of a turning point for us, and definitely looking to build on this.
In Columbus, the Ohio State Buckeyes hoped a return home to the Horseshoe would provide a spark, facing number 4 Notre Dame.
Going right at him. Right at him defensively, right off the X. Play Buckeye Lacrosse and play for the brotherhood. Right here. Play for each other. Hands in here right here. Right here, let's go. Buckeyes. 4 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
We are underway. Gorgeous day for Lacrosse and Ohio State. This could be a huge win for them as they've lost 3 out of 4 coming in. They really need to pick things up.
And early on, the Buckeyes' intensity was rewarded with a flurry of goals.
Shot score! There's that rocket from LeClaire. Gleason scores. That is a brilliant shot on the run. Oh, yeah. LeClaire. Oh, boy. Hey, now. Opportunity for Notre Dame, and they cashed in with Mikey Wynn.
In the second half, the hot stick of Trey LeClaire gave the Buckeyes the lead with his 3rd goal of the afternoon.
Shot. Score by LeClaire.
Good stuff. Let's go. Fire, baby. Fire.
If Ohio State can get a W here, it gives them a little bit of momentum going into that schedule.
But in the fourth, again, the Irish rebounded.
Oh, no, a quick almost turnover, and it was a turnover and an opportunity for Mikey Wynn. Scores! Back up top. Open score! Now the Buckeyes, we talk about how great they are on the defensive end. Now is when they've really got to turn it up and come up with a big play. Minute 45 left to go. Trailing by a goal. Costabile on target, but Pearson with the save. Wide shoot there. Randall pushing it. Oh, now offside against Ohio State.
They give it
That is crucial. Ohio State just gives it right back, though. That is a dagger. But now just 7 seconds. What can Ohio State do? Long downfield pass. We've seen that before from Ohio State. But they can't connect here. The game is over.
Despite their efforts, the Buckeyes could not overcome a 1-goal margin, again, proving how narrow the margin is between victory and defeat. The North Carolina Tar Heels hoped a change of scenery would help them get back on the winning track as they traveled west to California for a date with number 2 Maryland.
Orange Coast College in Costa Mesa, California at Dick Kelly Field. Welcome to the Pacific Coast Classic. As tonight, the defending national champion Maryland Terrapins, ranked number 2 in the country, take on the North Carolina Tar Heels, ranked number 20. They're the champions from 2 years ago.
Unload, baby, unload.
This year's team started out strong 6-0. They've lost their last 3 games. Injury has really been the story in Chapel Hill.
Start right now!
Before a crowd of nearly 7,000, the Terrapins took control in the early going.
Beats them on the short side. Didn't see that one in the Southern California night. Go Blue! Bernhardt, got score!
Carolina right now just does not have an answer for Bernhardt behind.
And in the third, Maryland would stretch their lead to 6.
Dave made, rebound, score!
Terps are kind of pulling away right now.
But the Tar Heels' determination didn't waver, and for the third consecutive game, they would mount a furious comeback.
Once again, it's Perry. Sets up his teammate, scores. That's how you do it. The goal by Timmy Kelly. Still plenty of time to go. Cloutier, not score. We've got a 2-goal game.
One-handed against the pole. Boom.
Yet crucial fundamental mistakes proved costly.
Cook loses the handle. Oh, and that's going to be a costly turnover for the Tar Heels.
Maryland's got numbers here.
Score! Oh boy, just letting it rip is Bryce Young. And that might have just done it. With the loss, Carolina will drop to 6-4, and I have a feeling North Carolina might drop out of the top 20.
Maryland, year in, year out, Coach Tillman has them prepared. They're defending national champions for a reason, and they showed it. They're an awesome team, and you got to give them a lot of respect. But you know what? I believe that we're an awesome team, and we gave them all they could handle, and they came out on top.
Okay, so what do you have so far?
So I have a little less than last time. I have like a page.
Good.
So here are the 2 readings for the paper I was working on. And yeah, so we have like these 4 theories. So
the life of a student athlete is a difficult juggling act, balancing the responsibilities of schoolwork with the demands of the sport.
Yeah, I need to find the theories. That's why I was just confused about how I should add them.
Yet for freshman Tucker Dordevic, it's not the first adversity he has faced.
I have dyslexia. I've had it obviously my whole life, and just growing up, like middle school, I hated school. Like I never wanted to go because it was just so tough. When I was younger, I always thought like, oh geez, like I have dyslexia. School's gonna be terrible. Like another long day of school. I wouldn't turn assignments in and whatnot.
In fact, it was the lessons he learned on the field which helped him ultimately overcome his dyslexia and provide him with the motivation to reach the next level.
I just started to figure it out, and like I started to put that same like passion into lacrosse as I did into school, and it started to come a little easier.
Despite growing up across the country in Portland, Oregon, Tucker caught the eye of the Syracuse coaching staff. It was a dream come true for him to put on an orange jersey.
It's Dordevic outside.
Tucker quickly cracked the starting lineup.
Dordevic with a torpedo!
A rare feat for a Syracuse freshman, and cemented his place with a 4-goal game against Virginia, including the game winner.
11-11, we're tied. We hit the 15-second mark right now. Dordevic down the right alley. He will shoot it! Woo! The freshman, Tucker Dordevic's 4th of the game.
I think it's made me a little bit more resilient, both like in lacrosse and just like in everyday life. Where before I'd use as a crutch to not do things, I think it's kind of been like if I get over this, I can get over that. And it just kind of pushes me along the way.
Dordevic and company know a similar diligence is required on the field as they strive to improve each day as a team.
We definitely got our swagger back, you know. People are clicking, people are dodging harder, and that's what we do here, you know.
When you're using so many younger players, there's going to be a learning curve. And I think, you know, from game to game, we've gotten a little better.
The Orange would look to keep their positive momentum going forward as they welcome Notre Dame to the Dome.
Half step to Solomon. Orange charging in. Solomon, one more. Boom! Woo! Buries it in the Orange. Fast break. A 1-0 lead.
Against the Irish, the Orange wasted little time asserting themselves, racking up an early lead.
Stromboli down the right alley. He will shoot and bounced it through Schmidt. Looked like a 5-hole goal. Steps to the middle. He shot and Carlin again. A little changeup over Schmidt. 3-0 Cuse.
Bombury, Solomon, and Stromboli would each net twice, helping the Orange clinch a share of the ACC title while earning the 900th win in the program history.
You know, we really stuck to our game plan against Notre Dame and kind of wore them down a little bit, and you know, that was a great win in front of our fans in the Dome.
We knew, especially against Notre Dame, that we were going to have to play well on offense because they play such great defense.
The Orange continued their hot streak with another historic battle, this time for the Cross-Simmons Trophy against Hobart. It held extra special meaning for one Syracuse senior, playing for the trophy that bears his family's name.
It means the world. It's, you know, I try to not look at it any differently than any other game. But you know, obviously there's some hardware involved, and you know, it's a special game for me. Just kind of knowing what it's all about, you know, the legacy behind it and the tradition behind it.
Give this to the great Solomon. This time won't miss. Step down, ripped home by Tripoli. Ripper runs the left alley, knowing it's so, and stuffs it in. That was crafty. Point wide open.
Get up when we fall. We stand for each other and answer the call. Whether big or small, we came from the bottom and that was the goal.
Blazing down the left alley, Curry and rips it into the right corner.
We run through the wall, calm demeanor like John Sr. Through the long season, got them all sleeping. By the fourth quarter, you can hear them hard breathing. They be doing long dreaming, but this field here is our region. No odds and evens, just our reasons to send y'all back into the off season. Game time.
Syracuse sharp play earned them the victory and gave Ryan Simmons a memory he will not soon forget.
You know, getting to look up to that box to see my grandpa, I can't really put it into words. It means the world, and getting a big hug from my dad on the sideline, it's so special to me.
Right now, we are looking for the Episcopal Church. There we go, the Episcopal Church of the Advocate. Look at that. Those look like prime spots right there. Catch some fish.
In Maryland, right by the Chesapeake Bay, is a big part of being a Marylander, I guess. And so I love fishing. I've grown up fishing. Actually, my cousin Johnny, plays for Ohio State, introduced me into it. Ever since, I've just had a love.
It starts with Google Maps. You see a little blue, and then you go Google Earth to see what's around it.
We've had our ups and downs. One thing that we found is that the brown water, based on Google Maps, is usually not good, as one would expect, but we didn't expect that. So we went to this brown water lake, and there was literally like that much water in this little pond.
Trees are basically our biggest enemy besides not catching fish. We've lost countless lures.
All right,
let's go.
It's go time.
Catch some fish.
Usually bring out a friend or two, and we'll kind of sit by the pond or lake and just talk about, whether it's life, lacrosse, whatever it is, just kind of get your mind off of the inevitable lacrosse.
Timmy not only does he love to fish, but he loves to work out, so this is his way of getting both done at the same time. He also does abs during commercial breaks of our TV shows.
Got one, let's go, see, got one, man. Yeah! That thing is
a monster, baby.
Huge!
Keeping that.
That's what I'm talking about. This is it. This is what we do it.
This is why we do it.
This right here is a largemouth bass. Nothing bigger, nothing better.
While any hobby may take your mind off the pressure temporarily, there's nothing like a rivalry to ratchet things right back up.
Cloutier steps into one, and UNC on cue with the early lead. Nice dodge by Timmy Kelly, and Carolina with a 2-0 lead.
Rivalries are what make any sport great, and the famed Old Tobacco Road connects one of the most interesting.
Chris Cloutier going top shelf, his second of the night.
North Carolina opened with intensity, with William Perry giving them a 4-1 lead.
As Perry finds the back of the net.
But as has been the case for so many times in his career, Duke's Justin Gutterding was the answer.
Justin Gutterding going low on Basile. Gutterding on the doorstep. There it is. Number 300 for Justin Gutterding.
Gutterding's 300th career point marked another milestone in his career, but it was his 4 goals on the day that would lead the Blue Devils.
Justin Gutterding, who John Danowski says has played determined.
And for the second time in a week, Koskinen Stadium played home to a second-half battle worthy of the history books.
Here come the heels. Ryan Macri charging. Macri! The long pole! Russell Smith. Anderson has Kelly. Bounces it in. And Carolina back on top. A hat trick for Timmy Kelly. Cloutier. Offhand! Chris Cloutier finds a way. Gutterding over to Smith. Gets Rowlett. Gets the pick. Smith right hand free. And it trickles past Basile. Tied at 9. Good defense by Macri. Conley with a rocket. And Duke with its first lead.
In the end, it was the Blue Devils who would prevail in another 1-goal game.
And you can hear the deafening percussion of Koskinen Stadium as the Blue Devils hang on for a hard-fought 1-goal win.
For the Tar Heels, the scoreboard once again did not reflect either their skill or effort.
We fought hard, we did,
hopefully next time it's a better outcome.
It's such a fine line between winning and losing, and again, although it was a tough loss, we learned a lot about ourselves.
As the calendar turns to April, the pressure continues to build. And while Duke and Syracuse had secured the top half of the ACC, few would have predicted that both Ohio State and North Carolina would be looking for much-needed victories on the same day to stay alive in the playoff hunt.
As here's a goal from LeClaire as he comes back. Oh, what a play from Colby Smith.
Third-ranked Hopkins proved to be a formidable challenge.
Now or never.
While a few hundred miles to the south, North Carolina faced a similar matchup against Virginia on a rain-soaked evening in Chapel Hill.
And it's going out and punching him in the mouth from the start. Put it in. It's about family. Family on 3, 1, 2, 3, family.
If there's one unifying theme between the Ohio State Buckeyes and North Carolina Tar Heels, led respectively by two men who share an unbreakable bond, it's a never-say-die attitude and ultimate respect for the game.
Our men have great pride in themselves, great pride in the program, and no matter how much adversity or injuries we're going through, these guys are going to fight for 60 minutes plus if needed.
Get up for this next 30 minutes! That is not good enough! Get some heart, do whatever you need to do to get excited this next 30 minutes. I'm not done, none of you guys are done. Let's go!
In the end, brief moments of uncharacteristic play left both teams looking for answers. For North Carolina, they're down to their final straw.
With 2 games left, it's your season sitting in front of you. So you have Syracuse and you have Notre Dame and you have an opportunity to make the ACC tournament and you have an opportunity to make the NCAA tournament. So with the ups and downs of the season and the run we had early and this streak we're on now that we're hoping to change and looking forward to the challenges ahead, they just have to believe in themselves and believe in each other and believe in the system and grind it out. And that's what this season is all about. It's a grind.
For Ohio State, a must-win game against rival Michigan looms.
Coming off a year where we had the success that we did, that's a lot for a team to absorb. And I think this group has felt that way to a degree. We've been close. We've had some games where, hey, listen, if they went just a couple plays go the other way or 4 or 5 minute segment, the outcomes are different. And so my message to these men has just been to stay committed to the blueprint, stay committed to each other, focused on Buckeye Lacrosse and just chasing our best.
Now or never.
Pressure can break you down or make you stronger. It makes some rise and others implode. It is a bitter reality of the season. For the Duke Blue Devils, North Carolina Tar Heels, Syracuse Orange, and Ohio State Buckeyes, there are just weeks left to answer which response to pressure they will choose.